Part A, we want to find an equation for the family of linear functions with a slope of 2 and then sketch several members of the family. So that means that an equation for the family of linear functions with slope 2 is a function that has 2 as a slope. So we can say y is equal to f of x, which is equal to 2x plus b, where b is the y-intercept. Now, if we want to sketch several members of that family, well, we can see here that this equation represents y is equal to 2x plus b. If we let b equal -1, then therefore this is our line. If b is equal to 0, then there is our line. If b is equal to 3, then therefore there is our line. Part B, it says find an equation for the family of linear functions such that f of 2 is equal to 1. Well, if we look at f of 2 is equal to 1, that tells us that the ordered pair 2, which is the x value, and the y value of 1, which is 2, 1, is on the line. So what we need to do is we need to look at the point slope form. The point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So we're going to use the point to solve for y. So we have y minus 1, which is equal to m times x minus 2. And so now we're going to solve for y. So in order to solve for y, we're going to distribute the m first. So we have y minus 1, which is equal to m x minus 2m. And now to solve for y, we'd have to add 1 to both sides. So y is going to equal mx minus 2m plus 1. Or we can say that y is equal to mx minus 2m minus 1. Okay, now that we have formed our equation for the family of linear functions that have the ordered pair 2, 1, now we want to be able to graph. So here is our graph. So if we let the slope equal 1 using our equation, that means that y is going to equal 1 times x minus 2 times 1 plus 1. So therefore that equation is going to be x minus 2 plus 1, which is minus 1. So that tells us that the y-intercept is -1 and we have a positive slope. So therefore there is our line. Now if we want to change the slope to -1, that means y is going to equal -1 times x minus 2 times -1 plus 1. So that equals y, which is equal to -x. And that becomes 2 plus 1, which is plus 3. And so therefore it has a y-intercept of 3, and it's got a negative slope going down. And then when we let our slope equal 0, that means we're going to have y, which is equal to 0 times x minus 2 times 0 plus 1. Therefore we get the equation y is equal to 1, and therefore here we have a horizontal line going through y is equal to 1. Last question says part C, so which function belongs to both families? Well, to belong to both families, an equation must have a slope of m is equal to 2. So the equation in part B, where y is equal to mx plus 1 minus 2m, becomes y is equal to 2x minus 3. It is the only function that belongs to both families.